telling people that Charlie the ghost, who they can manipulate to do whatever they want, he always told students not to go to college and to instead get married young. And therefore, the next logical step would be for Turning Point to go into homeownership to help them become homeowners. Trust the science. By the state of Arizona, while it employed Jeff DeWitt, its former COO, and Lake, who had received more than $100,000 from the entity in the personal young homeowners, because it was Charlie's vision, right? He's telling people that Charlie the ghost, who they can manipulate to do whatever they want, he always told students not to go to college and to instead get married young. And therefore, the next logical step would be for Turning Point to go into homeownership to help them become homeowners. Trust the science. If you think that's weird, that's because you're demonic. Erica's grieving widow. Lori, in case you missed it, is the one person that Erica now posts for sympathy. She's curating Lori, right? To let you know that Lori is sick. That to me felt like a person I should probably be looking into, right? How dare you have any questions about anything right now? Do you know where Erica's going? She just lost her husband and her mom's sick. I think these people are sick in the head. There is something very wrong with Lori. There is something very wrong with Erica. And there is something very wrong with this picture of Lori, Tyler, and Erica Kirk being together. There just is. It's my opinion. It's my show. They really think we are this stupid. Anyway, we'll be right back after a quick break. All right, you guys, thanks to you, last year, Preborn helped rescue over 80,000 babies, and today you can help save even more. Every single day, thousands of women hear the same devastating lie that abortion...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys all being here. This is live. Candace is live right now. I got some text from none of your business, but I was told, can you do this live while she is live and give input as she is doing this? And this is, I guess, her episode 2 of The Bride of Charlie. And already y'all are coming in hot and firing. I know some of y'all want to hear my last one. I can't stand her anymore. She's the demon in the mirror. Candace Owens is a demon. Oh boy. Let's see. She's still doing her commercial right now. So if you come in here right now, at least hit the thumbs up button because I'm presenting this to you. All right. Otherwise, let's see what else she's going to be saying after she does her little commercial here. And we'll get back on it. So she's talking about her skincare products. But as of right now, I see some of y'all are throwing y'all comments in here. And yeah, we shall see. You are free to your own opinion. I'm not going to judge you for what you think or anything like that. But, you know, that's one thing about this channel. Even if I disagree with a lot of things that people say, I definitely will support you in saying what it is that you feel you need to say, right?
About reacting. It's about being prepared.
Anyway,
that's why beekeepers...
she's still doing her commercial right now. And I would hope that since I am showing you guys this and, you know, you can speak your opinions and all that right now, hopefully you can hit the, this is episode 3. Okay. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Elijah. Shout out to you for that. I'll have to change my title in here, but appreciate you for that. So let's see what else she's talking about now.
Official compounds. It's been used for centuries.
She's still talking about the using honey and stuff like that. So once she gets done with that, we'll get back on top of this. I'll go in and edit this. This is episode 3. Episode 3. Okay. And I just got done changing that. So hopefully it changes in the system as well. Appreciate you again. And shout out to you for that.
Beekeepersnaturals.com.
She's still talking about beekeepers a lot, ladies and gentlemen. In her channel, Candace has over 100,000 people watching. That is crazy. That is wild, though. I mean, that's crazy.
Foods, Walmart, Amazon.
So I know then y'all start talking about them. Well, the people that's watching Candace Owens is crazy.
Is Erica Kirk. My answer is Lori's child. I think Lori comes first. Lori has always come first. And Lori is exceedingly problematic. Okay. I understand she is sick. I understand someday George Soros is going to be sick. Okay. Doesn't mean that we don't get to discuss the things he is involved in.
That's true.
The question that I was asking is what went on with this marriage between Lori and Kent, this alleged marriage between Lori and Kent? Why do I feel like it's not even a real marriage? I see no evidence of the marriage occurring, or like it just seems like I don't know if a marriage can occur across 16 years. I don't know if it can happen that many times.
Before I started using the farmer's dog, I would fill my dog's bowls up.
Right. Why did you cut her off like that?
Kind of walk by and pick at it all day. After
yeah.
farmer's dog.
At the beginning of next week, times across 2 documents. And like I said, we have the other documents and we will show you them at the beginning of next week. Well, fortunately for me, another sleuth, someone in Marblehead, Massachusetts, said, how can I help? I have access to documents here. I can take a look and see what I can find, Lori and Kent. And they were not able to pull up any marriage documents. Doesn't mean that they don't exist, but they were able to pull up some deeds where Lori and Kent had signed the deeds over and when they had first received the deed to their home in Marblehead, Massachusetts. And there's a little interesting tidbit here where Lori and Kent are listing as having been a couple from Rhode Island, from North Kingstown, Rhode Island. North Kingston, Rhode Island. First off, I want to tell you that that's not a place. So there's Kingston, I would know, because I went to the University of Rhode Island. There's clerical errors, but there's Kingston, Rhode Island, which is about 2 miles long and is just the University of Rhode Island campus where I graduated from. And then there's South Kingstown, North Kingstown, and apparently they lived there, except I can't find a trace of Lori and Kent having lived in Rhode Island. So my Rhode Island sleuths, people down at the county, maybe in Rhode Island, if you want to take a peek and see if you can find this couple, this lovely couple, and maybe they got married in Rhode Island. Well, I guess no, because their divorce docs say they got married in Marblehead, Massachusetts, but people are saying they can't find those divorce docs. So this makes it seem like they maybe got married in Rhode Island, but you can maybe just get married in Marblehead while you're living together in Rhode Island. Maybe they were renting property. I don't know, but I want to know. You find something, Rhode Islanders, hit me up. More tips at CandaceOwens.com. More tips at CandaceOwens.com. Now jumping back into our Erica timeline. Now, we talked about how she went to this school, Tesseract. It's also going to be a scam, financial scam, but that's fine. She's the victim. After Erica Francfay leaves Tesseract in 2000 because the school is facing a financial crisis, I also want to point out, like I said, the school's being run by Jewish women. They're even renting from a Jewish school, the Looking Glass. And stereotypically, I want to say something. Stereotypically, Jewish people are known for very good accounting, but not in this case. Not sure what happened there. Thereafter, there is evidence, and we have not been able to find anything concrete, but there is evidence that Erica went back up to Ohio for about 3 years, from 2000 to 2002. She apparently attended a school known as St. Ursula Villa. St. Ursula Villa is actually separate from St. Ursula Academy. It's a privately owned, and at first glance, you would think it was a Catholic school, but actually, despite its name and despite it being on the St. Ursula Academy property, it was not owned by the nuns as St. Ursula Academy was. St. Ursula Villa actually had private funding and private, it was a completely separate from the Catholic Church at this time, from what I'm able to see. So, and I cannot pull up who was funding this school at that time. So if you have yearbooks from St. Ursula Villa, not the broader academy, but St. Ursula Villa, from the years 2000 to, let's take it up to 2003, and you see Erica Francfay in there, or you remember her being there, please reach out to us. Like I said, these two schools were operating same place, separate entities. Send us an email. What happens next in her life, though, is pretty easy to document. Erica is at Notre Dame Prep. And I should note, I did not know this at the time, but Notre Dame Prep was formerly the Tesseract School, the one that they had to shutter in North Scottsdale. Now the doors are reopened and it's Notre Dame Prep. And it's very easy to document Erica throughout these years. In 2003, she's playing volleyball because she gets involved in sports. We can just find her. And I also want to say this, it's also easy to track her because despite her claim that she got into pageantry because she got a mailer one year. Let's roll that clip of what she said again yesterday.
Was it after that? That's when you started pageants, or when did that come about?
So the pageant world to me is something that it was an interesting season of life. It was nothing that I was ever groomed for. It was nothing that was ever on my radar. I just yeah, I wanted to play professional
You're a
basketball.
tomboy.
That was my thing ever since I was 5. Like that was I wanted to play, and that was all I wanted to do. I was a gym rat, for lack of a better term. And I remember getting something in the mail when I had come home from school one summer, and it was like, hey, you should compete at Miss Arizona USA. Someone nominated you. And I was like, I don't know who would nominate me for that, but okay. So I shared it with my mom, and I was reviewing all the different things that you have to go through. And I thought to myself, if I were to ever win this, the most important thing out of it would be to be able to make a difference with the title. I don't care about the photo shoots. I just want to be able to overbook myself, being able to get involved with the local communities, with the local organizations that are actually making a difference. So the pageant world for me was something that was not a form of narcissism. It was more along the terms of being a steward for my state, especially as it hit our 100th year celebration.
Okay, so it wasn't about narcissism. She wasn't groomed. By the way, if you have to say that you weren't groomed for something, you probably were. You have to just kind of say that. It's probably because you were. And the reality is that every single year from 2005 through to 2012, Erica was involved in beauty pageants. So that's 7 years of her life that we could find. There could be more. There could be, she could have been doing pageantry while she was in Ohio for a couple of years. I'll let you know, keep you posted. I should also add here that some pageant women disputed her narrative. They wrote to us that she was just randomly invited. They said that minors in particular are not just freely solicited to join pageant work.
So I'm gonna keep it real with y'all right now. Right now, it seems like I don't know if Candace is bringing up stuff about Erica Kirk, about I don't know her line about her past, or I don't know whatever it is that Eric Kirk is doing. But what I'm trying to draw out of this with Candace, because she is filibustering a lot right here, is what are you trying to get at? Because what a person did before she met Charlie Kirk, I'm just trying to figure out what is the end game on this. If y'all follow me.
In first runner-up in the National America Miss Arizona pageant, and she will represent Arizona in the upcoming All-American Miss pageant in November of 2005, which takes place in Los Angeles. That year, Lori Franzwe is listed in the House bill budget for the U.S. Department of Homeland Securities for another business that she has called IMET Laboratories. Like I said, don't ask me what any of her businesses do. It's not clear. In August, just ahead of Erica's senior year, this is 2006 now. In August, just ahead of her senior year, she's going to win the National American Miss Teen pageant. And she wins a chance and takes it to travel to DC to present her plans to Representative J.D. Hayworth and Senator John Kill. Erica becomes involved with a charity known as Andrea's Closet, which works with a hospital in Winslow, Arizona for kids. Erica notes that she stops by that hospital often on the way to basketball games and that she wants to establish her own charity in the future. That year, her father, Kent Franzwe, is listed as a risk assessment contractor. He's mentioned also as a resident of Surprise, Arizona, concerned. Basically, he's trying to get more funding from the DHS. You get this sense that now the family's like, we need government contracts for stuff. That'll work for us. Lori is going to have to close down Virtual Registration International Incorporated, the one that Rick helped her open, because the tax department force closes it for lack of a tax filing. So that tends to happen a lot with some of these LLCs. In 2007, we have Erica winning the Miss American. Her teen year begins. So you have the pageant at the end of a year, and then you have the crown for the following year, for those of you who are like me and do not know how pageantry world works. So if you're competing in 2006, you are competing for 2007, and then 2007 is going to be your year. So that is her Miss American teen year. And that is also.
Okay, so again, a lot of filibustering right there, which I don't know what this is going to attribute to anything that deals with Erica Kirk. But I got a question for a lot of you guys right now. Candace Owens, I know this for a fact. Candace Owens is really close to my guy Brandon Tatum, right? And I told y'all before, I have Candace's number. I text her, I text Brandon. It's a lot of people that I have contacts with, that I speak with, maybe once every 2 months. In Candace's case, I might speak to her maybe once every 3 months or whatever like that. Really, Anyway, my point is saying that I just got a question for the listening audience. If something, God forbid, if something was to happen to Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens had this same response, would you say the same exact thing? Oh, Candace Owens just wanted to be with Brandon Tatum. Would you say things like Candace Owens is a woman scorned because Brandon Tatum is not married to her? Would you say secretly Candace is in love with Brandon Tatum, or would you say things like that? I'm just asking. I just want to throw that out there. I'm just throwing it out there to give y'all some little food for thought, okay?
Abandoned her scholarship, and I was wondering, like, did she transfer to Loyola Marymount? Like, what happened here? And you should know, of course, never leave never leave Lori out. Lori's first off, she's listed now as having been married to Larry Ginta. That's the first time that we see that, because Joe Abbas dies, and it looks like she is married. Lori and Larry, maybe they're saying that they're just together, who knows, and that's why they're listing him. I'm not positive. But Lori, every year, there's always a new LLC. So Lori is going to file AZ Tech International with Rick Erpenbeck on the documents, and that will, oh, I'm sorry, they had already filed that. It gets canceled by the tax department. That's right. There's so many LLCs and so many cancellations. This one gets canceled. 2008 is where it gets pretty interesting, because I was trying to find Erica's very present, and suddenly in 2008, I can't find her. Okay. I put this as like Erica's missing school year. Now, she herself disputes this in various times. She says she played basketball for 2 years, and she's going to note in a future alumni packet for Notre Dame that she was indeed playing basketball at Regis University for 2 years, but I could not confirm that. And interestingly enough, Regis University still has her basketball stat page up, and they're on my side. They say they only have a record of her playing from 2007 to 2008. That's the season that she played. Now, she may have just stayed on. It's possible that she continued her study. She said she had an academic scholarship at Regis. I thought that. I was like, maybe she stopped playing basketball and she decided to just focus on her studies, and that's why I can't find her at basketball games. Maybe that's why Regis is not acknowledging that she continued to play. But then I thought, nope, I think something else happened here. She does indeed go missing, because Erica gives an interview in 2020 where she's reflecting on her life. It's a rather obscure interview which has since been removed, by the way. They contacted someone and got this taken down, but not before I got it. Not before I got it and saved it. As soon as I saw it, I said, save this. They're going to start going backwards and trying to delete stuff. And this one was a gem. And she's going to confirm that after she passes her crown, so in 2007, she's wearing the crown, and then she passes her crown, she is going to confirm that she does indeed go missing after that period. So this would be, of course, in 2008. Take a listen to what Erica says herself.
I prayed for God to just strip my ego from all of that stuff, all of that world, all of the plastic hat crown stuff with the banner. That was just, it was me from the standpoint of a philanthropic side, but the hometown hero thing was just weird, and it was unhealthy, and it was just ego fueling. So I locked myself in my room, basically turned into a hermit for about a good 8 months. The only person I would see outside of my family was my pastor's wife, and we would go to the church, and she would just pour into me every single day. And I just was reading scripture and read the Bible cover to cover multiple times.
That is very interesting. How can an active college student purport to see no one but her mother and her pastor's wife for 8 months? She says nobody saw her. Check. That's true. I'm highlighting this particular period of time because I suspect that this could potentially represent a time when Erica trained to become a Christian. Again, this is my personal opinion. It's my podcast. But given what we've learned about Fort Huachuca, an intel base that literally trains Christians, I'm asking myself, was she just training? Was she training to become a Christian? Was she training to be able to impress people like Charlie by just always having a Bible verse? Now she can't even get out a sentence without making it somehow a Bible verse or a holy in some degree, and there's something that registers to people as off about that. I want to know, who is her pastor's wife?
Candace, I, you know how you look. I don't get where you're trying to get at. Like, if I'm talking to Candace right now, I don't understand what's the purpose of what you're getting at, because I feel like it is like watching a slow burn movie of you. Like, okay, I'm at a point where now I'm trying to figure out what's the plot. Like, I'm trying to get to the can we at least get a little bit of a climax, or where we trying to get to the pinnacle and find out what is this all supposed to lead to? Because I know, guys, I'm just telling you right now, this is basically a lot of filibustering. And to be quite honest, if I was in conversation with people like this, I usually shut off. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have. And I'm not hating or nothing like that. I'm just being real. I told y'all, I'm not for or against anybody, but I am true to myself, in which in this case, I don't know who care. I don't care if Erica didn't become a hermit. I don't care if she did not pass the crown or play basketball. I don't care if she didn't do any of that stuff. My whole thing is going to be, I'm trying to figure out how you're trying to tie this into anything where she had something to do with talking with people. What does it have to do with Charlie Kirk? Is all I'm saying. And so to me, it can come off like, and it does come off like, you're filibustering, because you know right now, this right here, and you're talking and people are watching. Let's keep it real. Is money coming in from YouTube? I notice I do content creation. YouTube does pay you for audience retention. They pay you for how long you kept the audience watching. You get paid from the commercials, and YouTube also give you a premium. But then on top of that, videos like this, you can break it down into a bunch of shorts. Then you can make money off of the shorts. So now, some of y'all gonna take what I'm saying right now and try to say, yep, she's grifting. Yep, she's grifting. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that, what is the filibustering for right now? I'm ready to get to the point, because y'all that watch my videos right now, y'all know who I am. I will bring y'all the heat. Boom, 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 bam, 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 hit it, and then it's over. So I'm just trying to figure out, come on, sis, come on. I'm gonna send her a text. I'm gonna just send a text for real, because I'm like, yeah.
On his father, who was never charged, said, quote, "I have no doubt now that my father was a serial pedophile and will probably never know the extent of it." That's from him. That's a quote from him. She has been friends since 1994. So Eric has been friends with them. So let me bring on Ashley to explain that, the Terry, Chris, and Judith and the relation, in a better manner, because she's way deeper down that rabbit hole than I am.
Yeah. So, like we said, Pastor Terry Christ and his wife, Pastor Judith Christ, they were very close with Erica at this time. From 2011 to around 2016 is where we can track their relationship. And interestingly, Pastor
I
Terry
agree.
Christ has a very interesting background. So he is very good friends with Brian Houston, who was the founder of Hillsong. And like you said, he was very much like, he covered up his father's pedophilia for years, and he actually never got charged for it. And so Brian Houston resigned eventually, and then right afterwards, Pastor Terry Christ also resigned.
I tried a ton of AI work tools. Then I tried Monday.com. Game over. Monday.com.
And then one other weird thing that happened was Pastor Terry Christ and his wife were accused of having, well, this is just word on the street, but they would have their congregants like throw up into bags to get rid of bad spirits. And so that's just word on the street, allegedly.
Allegedly. I will say that even regarding the pastor, even though his son is making the allegation that he believes his father was a pedophile, if he was not charged, then we cannot state that definitively. But, there seems to be some smoke there. That is what has been alleged, even by his own son. And like I said, I'm not deep on that, but it is interesting. And I am not certain this is the pastor's wife that she went into training with. I'm not certain she had to throw up in a bag, to get rid of bad spirits. But I do know that YouTube will do what it has to do. The YouTube creators will do what they have to do. The Baron Colemans, the Nisas, they'll do what they have to do to get to the bottom of that. Because this is an interesting turning point in Erica's life, in my view. And she strikes me as someone who, there are going to be some psychiatrists in her life and some psychologists. There's just that is what people are perceiving is a spiritual darkness. And sometimes spiritual darkness comes from people who are purporting to be spiritually light. People who can't get out a sentence without saying the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, could have something else going on. as we just learned with the Hillsong scandal. Look, that's all we know for sure. Otherwise, we can confirm to you guys that despite Erica's hiatus, 8-month hiatus, according to her, she does make it to compete for Miss USA Colorado 2009, and she places third runner-up. So that's 2008. We are going to leave it there. We can show you if you want to. I guess you already saw the timeline, so you guys are good. We're going to take a very brief break, and we'll be right back.
Candace. Okay. I'm being completely real. I don't know what we're supposed to do with that. Now, guys, I'm telling y'all, I was told, I told y'all at the beginning of this video, I was asked if I can watch this live I'm just not even gonna get into it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Like, now that you said this about Erica Kirk, I don't know what that is. Is this like a message where you're trying to insinuate that she's a liar? And even if you are insinuating that, if Erica Kirk is lying about things that she done in basketball, being a hermit, things like that, I'm trying to figure out what is that to prove. Is that trying to get people in a mindset of, oh, because she lied before, because she done this before, it means what? I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. That's what guys, this is how my mind operates. And I told you, I learned this from the Lord Jesus Christ. And I learned this. I am no respected person. I've learned things to where I can have so much respect and regard for an individual like my pastor, Pastor Wilson. Shout out to Pastor Wilson. Man had a lot to do with raising me, helping me become the man that I am. But at the same time, there used to be a time where I was just like, oh my God, because I live with him, I respect him. This man preaches. I don't want to question him. Nope, not me. I got to a point to where I've always been that kid since I was little. Like, Pastor Wilson, how come you won't do X, Y, and Z? But da 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 da. That's what I would do. And it used to be a thing to where people would be fearful of. So my point in saying that is that right now I'm just trying to figure out, where are we trying to go with this? What's the build up to? What are you trying to insinuate? Because everybody has lied. Everybody has done things in the past, whatever like that. But what I want to know, since she got with Charlie Kirk, can we show and see anything since she's been with Charlie Kirk that's been sketchy? Otherwise, literally before Charlie, I don't know if that really is something that I really care about, unless she's like, now, if it was something that they were able to show proof that every boyfriend that she's ever, in other words, if they were able to show something like every boyfriend that Erica Kirk ever had mysteriously died, then I'll be like, okay, I want to know what she did do in the 8th grade. Oh, she tried to choke a boy in the 8th grade and almost killed him. They covered it up. Oh, Erica Kirk tried to do this when she was in the high school, and that story got covered up. If there was a pattern or something like that, I would be more interested in it. But I don't really care that she was lied about being a hermit, or she was with a pastor and trying to get her life together. I really don't care about that. I'm just being real. I really don't care. I want to know what happened when she was with Charlie Kirk to the death of Charlie Kirk. What did she do that was sketchy in between that? That's just how my brain operates. What about y'all? She's still talking about her commercial right now. She's still going over her commercial. So, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just don't. I don't know what we're trying to get at with that. And that would be something that I would ask.
I just truly have to say, I am sickened by how dishonest people are right now. Everyone out here making it, there's nothing to see here. She's just a grieving widow. Everybody's fine at Turning Point. These people love Charlie. These people didn't even write their own speeches for his memorial. Take it to the bank. They didn't even write their own speeches for the memorial. They had people writing their speeches. That's how little these people cared about Charlie Kirk. Charlie was a means to them. Go ahead, call me a monster. Make a video. You're out here telling you it's okay. I'm gonna debunk what Candace is saying. Okay, Erica lied. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, that's how some people grieve. They grieve by lying. They grieve by lying. You guys need to settle down. Why do you care so much if she's lying? Why do you care so much that she suddenly apparently had a clear enough mind to decide that she wanted to take the board to a vote to make her the CEO while her children are not at home? Why do you care so much? It's weird. You guys are the weird ones. How's that PSYOP going? It's failing. We literally do not care at all what everybody is saying on the internet that is clearly being paid to say the same thing. If you find the most demonic thing that happened in all of this to be me investigating it and investigating whether or not the people that are taking over Turning Point USA are actually going to be good stewards of the alleged billions going forward. If you find that to be the most demonic thing,
That's no problem.
you're out
You
of
don't have
order,
to
my dude.
apologize.
You're just out of order. You're out of order. You know, like when you used to see like you go to the machine and a soda can, it just has like a little piece of paper out of order. That's you right now. You're just out of whack. You know what? Lori reminds me, I gotta say this, I shouldn't say it, but I just get the vibe. I look at her and I just know, you know, I don't know, but I know. She gives me Grandpa Joe vibes. You know, Grandpa Joe? He was like a number one. He got away with it. Nobody even thinks about Grandpa Joe and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He was out there. He's, oh, hey, Charlie. Oh, I'm sick. Hey, nice to see you busy. Charlie pulled out a golden ticket. Grandpa Joe did a whole dance routine. He said, oh, look, I'm good. Let's go. And then Grandpa Joe, look at the grandpa. That's Lori. That's Lori. And then Grandpa Joe, he gets down. He's the factory. Charlie was a good kid. He's a good kid. Charlie was a very good kid. Grandpa Joe gets down to the factory, tells him, steal the recipe. Steal the recipe. Give it to Slugworth. Vibes. I never misread them. Vibes. Anyway, some more Erica lies. We'll get into that next week. But I just now reflect on her telling me during our sit down that she received the questions ahead of time for her interview with Barry Weiss. Like she knew that Barry was going to ask a question about me. You know, she said, they didn't rehearse her answers, but she knew what they were going to ask, obviously. And therefore, we can conclude that none of the questions caught her off guard. She definitely thought through recounting her time in New York City, whether or not she was dating. And I want you to pay special attention now, because it's even crazier in the retrospect, to her body language as she's about to tell us that she didn't date anybody for 5 years before she met Charlie. Take a listen to this.
Now this is
I'm a
weird.
26-year-old Christian woman living in New York City. I would like to stay here long term, but I wonder whether it's sustainable. Do you believe there's a place for women like myself in modern cities who care about having a career, but also marrying a like-minded Christian conservative man?
Well, yeah. So it just depends on where you're looking. You know, if you're on the apps, I don't know if you're on the apps. I don't know if, I'm not going to ask you your personal journey. But what I will say is when I lived out here, I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than going, I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way. But I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. So it goes twofold here. So if you're expecting to marry someone that I was blessed with, like a Charlie, you have to be the type of woman that will attract a Charlie. Are you going to church? Are you going to Bible study? Did you tell your pastor that you are ready for the Lord to bring into your life the man that you've been praying for? You yourself need to be prepared for that man, and only you will know how to do that. Does that mean staying out and going out with the girls? I'm not saying you sit on your couch and all of a sudden he's going to knock on your door and be like, honey, let's rendezvous. Like, that's not how it happens. It's not. Granted, my situation was a little different. I wouldn't do it. You went to a job interview. Literally. So this is how good the Lord is. He knew that because I was not dating in New York City, he knew that in order for me to know that that was my man, he had to blanket Charlie as a job interview. Because if that went in, no joke, if he came to me and said, hey, let's go on a date to Bill's Burgers, I'd be like, I am so sorry. Thank you, but no, we're not doing this. That was my mindset. I was not in that headspace. I just wasn't.
Yeah. It's crazy in the retrospect. Who is the Lord? Is it the Lori? Is it the Lori? Or the Lord? Is it the Lori? I don't know. But I'm going to find out, because there's some interesting things that happen in this timeline as we start to go forward. Ask yourself,
I'll tell you what. The French president is probably happy. Oh, I'm so happy that her Candace is no longer interested in. She's not interested in listening to my man wife. She's no longer want to talk about my bride anymore. She's no. I bet that French president is happy. He happy she talking about Erica Kirk. I'm serious.
No one, there's no expectation for her to pretend she never dated anybody. Like she just was, oh, I was sitting at home observing my roommate and go, so terrible. No, please. No. The Lori knew. The Lori knew exactly what I needed, which was Charlie. And the Tyler knew that I would have to be sat down and told that it was a business opportunity. And what the Lori knew was probably everything about Charlie. Just like people say that Lori tells her what to say and who to target in every rooms, I find that to be likely. I can't know that. I don't think Lori or Erica is going to cop to that. But when people are saying it across various points in her life, that the common denominator is Lori, yeah, that feels right to me. Her whole demeanor there is just crazy. What's the purpose of that lie? And of course, you guys, I hate to tell you this, but the reality is that from 2013 to 2018, the 5 years preceding her relationship with Erica had multiple boyfriends. She rang in the new year with a boyfriend, okay, in 2018. So yeah, no, the correct sentence should be, I did not have a boyfriend in New York. I didn't go out to meet a boyfriend because I already had one. And maybe he was living in DC or something, but that's the reason that I had a boyfriend. That's the answer. I always had a boyfriend and they were in different cities. So there was not actually a single year that we could find that Erica Franzfey was single. Opposite of what she says to be true. Like I said, more on that next week. We're going to have a quick break and then I'll get to some of your comments because we are going long here. All right, you guys, between
Y'all, I'm going to keep it real. I always keep it real. I think I'm about to shut this down because the people that got a hold of me that told me to watch this, y'all know who y'all look, y'all. It's some people that are really close with her. These are people that I met that were producers down in Nashville, whatever. A couple of them reached out and wanted me to watch this live. They just wanted to know what my thoughts would be on this. As of right now, Candace has not said nothing to me, in my opinion. She hasn't said anything of no significance. And this is, y'all, what a lot of y'all have a hard time with. It's nothing wrong with criticizing people. I get criticized all the time, right? But when I get criticized, I look at it as if people are trying to criticize me in a way to say, hey, maybe you should do this, focus on this, whatever like that. Or here go a little critique for the next time you do a speech, Ty. I get told all the time, Ty, slow down when you talk, dude. Your Jamaican cadence is killing us. Like, you are talking so fast, dude. I take that and I go, okay, I go back and I listen to my videos. You guys are right. You do that. Oh my God, Ty, dude. A lot of times you are really hitting it and you are so serious. Every now and then, just to put people at ease, throw in your comedic side, do your imitations and things like that. I take that thing into consideration. So what I'm saying right now is this. Sis, you haven't really said nothing that made me just go, oh, wow, I'm about to go. Like nothing that Candace has said in this particular episode now have me itching to want to go and research some things to see what she's talking about, right? I'm just telling y'all, when she was on Kamala Harris and all that, man, that was awesome about Kamala Harris lineage and everything like that, because it mattered, because Kamala Harris was pandering and lying about who she was, right? And it was for a reason. In this case, I don't care about Erica Kirk being Miss Patchen and being in school and getting her life to God, and if she lied about the boyfriend she had, because the thing is, I want to know, what does this have to do with Charlie? And that's all I'm saying, y'all. So she obviously made it. She obviously made it to where she said that this is running long and she's just going to go off and read some comments and she's going to move on, and she's not. So, I mean, honestly, I'm just keeping it real. Candace, the people that sent me this, the people that might still work for you, whatever like this, I'm just keeping it real. There was nothing of substance in this. To me, this was just, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, this was nothing that I think is going to be something that I need to hold on to, so that when you do your episode next time on this, I'm going to go, oh, you follow me? I'm just keeping it real, y'all. Like I said, Brandon Tatum, I text him and stuff all the time. A lot of people that y'all know in these YouTube streets that are considered to be conservative or MAGA or Republican, I have close contacts. There's congressmen that y'all know really well that I keep in contact with. Allen West, DeSouza, Ted Cruz, a lot of people. I'm just naming them off. I know a lot of people that I keep in contact with. Sometimes whenever I'm talking about a certain thing, they'll say, can you not? They'll let me know, hey, whenever you do this or some information that they're giving me, just keep this between you and I. And I never mention their names because I'm keeping respect for them. I keep that close private relationship like that. But all I'm saying is that since they reached out, I'm just saying there was nothing here for me. Now, sometimes there's things that happen in life. For example, okay, watch this. The Mummy is one of my all-time favorite things to watch. Like, I love The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. I love it. If you don't watch The Mummy #1, it's a good chance you won't understand what The Mummy 2 is about if you don't watch the first one. I like stuff like that. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, I have those down here too. If you don't watch Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, it's a good chance you won't understand Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and then you won't understand Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. My point is saying that is that in this case, Candace, if you're watching or your producers, they're watching, they told me to watch this. I feel like you're about to give us Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, or Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, and we didn't get nothing that led us to this. You know what I mean? We don't have a part 1. There's a part 2, but it's like, okay, we watched part 2, but it's a whole nother movie. The John Wick series. If you don't watch the first John Wick, you're going to be lost. You need to know what built up to this. Why is he going around doing what he's doing? But in this case, I just feel like we're watching John Wick 3, and 1 and 2 don't have anything to do with John Wick 3. So to me, it doesn't feel like it's a series or something like that that's giving you some type of information to where if you don't watch episode 1, you won't understand episode 2. If you don't watch episode 2, you won't understand episode 3. Because right now in episode 3, I don't know why I need to remember anything out of episode 3 to where it makes me feel like I need to watch 4. I'm just keeping it real. I talk with you behind closed doors and everything like that. You know this is how I am. They asked me to do this and I did it. So that's what I have for right there, ladies and gentlemen. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this by, y'all already let me know what y'all think about putting in the comment section. I do appreciate you guys all being in here. And look, everybody has a right to your own opinions. Those of you that don't like what Candace is doing and things like that, you have a right to that. I respect you for that. One thing that I don't do, you're not going to get me to bash anybody. Yes, I have her number. Yes, I talk to her randomly. I say same thing with Brandon Tatum, same thing with a lot of people y'all might know. And even people that I disagree with, you are not going to find me on my channel bash somebody to the point where I'm saying you are a demon, you are a devil. Even if I disagree with them, you won't find me doing things like that though. So I'm just letting y'all know, if anybody that have DM me and you trying to get me to say something bad about Candace, Brandon, Nick Fuentes, I don't care, Ted Cruz, Alex Jones, even the people that are on the far left, if you're trying to get me to say something bad about them and saying these people, that man is a complete this, he should rot in. I don't do stuff like that. Now we'll call out the BS that they're spewing, right? So like right now, I'm not attacking Candace. I'm attacking what she was talking about, which in this particular episode was like a So anyway, y'all, I do appreciate y'all all. Up to the channel. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, I pray that every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.